All right, should we start with movies coming out in 2023, guys?
Sure.
Okay, so
Avatar comes out like tomorrow, right?
yeah, we're gonna have to wait.
Friday.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait till we get back from vacation to watch Avatar, so we won't be reviewing, like doing a deep review on the show or anything. But so like I found this is from Rotten Tomatoes. They have like their list of the 34 most anticipated movies of 2023. So this, of course, isn't everything, but it's going to cover like most of the big ones, probably things we would be more likely to review on the show and things like that. February 10th, 2023. AJ, I know you're excited for this one. Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Fingers crossed it comes out on that day.
Channing Tatum strips off his clothes for Steven Soderbergh one last time in this follow-up to 2015's Magic Mike XXL. This time around, Tatum's Mike Lane has fallen on hard times and takes an opportunity to travel to London to fulfill a request for a wealthy woman, Salma Hayek, only to discover she has ulterior motives. I wonder what those could be.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Man, that franchise just like must rest on like gay guys and lady boners.
Yeah, I don't know how many women are really getting up for that though. Like, I think women are more interested in like a GQ kind of guy, not just a guy who's just throwing it around like that.
I don't know.
He probably does okay.
I'm sure he does.
The next one, this one we will be reviewing, unless Lester goes crazy before then. February 17th, 2023, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantamania. It may have been delayed a year, but Paul Rudd and company are back for round 3 of this delightful franchise, which promises some exciting casting, namely Jonathan Majors as supervillain Kang the Conqueror and Bill Murray as ... something. What do we think Bill Murray is?
Well, hopefully he's the funny man to Paul Rudd's straight guy.
I don't know, maybe he's like a universal elder, just like Goldblum and Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know what they got down in the microverse or whatever.
He's going to be like the man behind the curtain or something.
It'll probably be like a real bit part, and we'll be like, oh, that was fucking nothing.
That's it.
Janitor.
Yeah. You missed a spot. I got it. This one I'm not interested, but I know a lot of people love this franchise. March 3rd, 2023, Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan makes his featured directorial debut with this third installment of the Rocky spin-off Creed franchise, in which he plays the son of Rocky's nemesis-turned-friend, Apollo Creed. We don't yet know how things will play out in this chapter, but Jonathan Majors appears to be Adonis's opponent in the ring, while Tessa Thompson and Felicia Rashad are set to reprise their roles as Adonis's girlfriend and mother, respectively. I watched the first Creed because like people made a big deal about it.
Yeah,
and
it was supposed to be good. I don't think I watched that one.
I did. And I was like, it's fine. It's nothing I would ever watch twice. And then I never got around to watching the second one. But I was never like the biggest Rocky guy. Like I watched those movies when I was a kid, like kind of secondhand because like Dad watched them. But I was never. Did you get into Rocky?
I've seen at least some of them.
Yeah, same.
I mean, they seem decent. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It's a hero story.
As an adult, though, I've never like had the urge to go back and watch them.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, as a kid I enjoyed Rocky, but yeah, I've never gone back. It's been years since I've seen it.
Yeah, same. Ooh, now AJ, this one I know will get you excited. March 10th, 2023, Scream 6.
I'll watch it.
Man, they must have cranked that sumbitch out, because didn't the 5th one just come out last year?
Yeah, it really did, yeah.
Damn. Not long after 2022's Scream opened, it was announced that there would indeed be a sequel directly tying into the characters who survived that film. Not long after that, just one day to be exact, it was announced that Hayden Panettiere would be returning to the series to reprise her role as Kirby Reed from Scream 4. Unfortunately, this will also be the first installment not to feature franchise star Neve Campbell, who decided not to return after she was offered less than she felt she was worth for the film. We don't know how the story will play out, of course, but we do know it definitely won't feel the same without the presence of Sidney Prescott. How do you feel about that?
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Aren't there like certain, like I thought like there were certain installments like maybe Scream 3 and 4 that people like really didn't like?
Yeah, there were, but I mean, those were kind of like Oh, they were weird. They were like teenager based, like kind of. I guess they're always teenagers. I don't know. They were weird. They were off a little bit.
I've still never seen a Scream movie.
Never.
Never.
Dang, the first one was so popular.
You know what's fucked up though is like there's this podcast I listen to about movies and they covered Scream, so like I know like the killer, you know.
Oh man.
So it's like I could watch it, but I kind of know the.
Man, the first one was a major hit. I remember, especially in the '90s, I felt like movies were bigger back then. Like,
It did feel that way. Well, I mean, yeah, because there's less entertainment options. I feel
Yeah.
like, and so yeah, just like movies seem like bigger.
Yeah, and like McDonald's, and they'd be selling like the toys. Of
that
the
too,
movie and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like there's just so much entertainment now that nothing feels quite as big as
Yeah.
like movies did back then.
Right.
Man, this next one I thought was actually coming out a lot sooner, but I think it got like bumped a couple times. March 17th, 2023, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Zachary Levi Shazam returns along with his teenage form Billy Batson, Asher Angel, and all of his step-siblings who have embraced their super powers. But when new villain Calypso, played by Lucy Liu, and Hespera, Helen Mirren, a.k.a. the Daughters of Atlas, arrive, the kids have to learn to work together to defeat them. I mean, we've talked about this. Like, I think this movie, just like the first Shazam, will be fine, but I don't think it'll be anything like fantastic.
I always have the issue with like all these superhero movies. Like, if you're all on Earth, and now these daughters of who? Of
Daughters of Atlas.
Atlas. Okay, so they show up. How come Superman or Black Adam or anybody else doesn't like come across them? How come it's Shazam, who's also like a Greek god background or whatever?
I mean, yeah. I mean, but that is something endemic to like comics forever. Like,
Yeah.
if these things all share, you know, the same universe, like,
Yeah.
why are there solo titles where they never mix? And it's just like because
In New York City, oh my gosh, Marvel's New York City,
Oh, I
it is
know.
teaming with Daredevil, Spider-Man, you name it, just a ton of superheroes.
that is one area where I think DC makes more sense. At least their heroes are spread out in different cities. Marvel, it's just like, no, every fucking buddy lives in
Yeah.
New York. Everybody.
It's the place to be.
It's pretty crazy. AJ, you and me, March 24th, 2023, John Wick, Chapter 4,
Alright.
baby.
Yes.
Lester's excited about
Hard pass.
Man, we're going to be busy in March. There's a lot on here that, like, are things I think we'll review. Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves' blockbuster action franchise finally reaches theaters in 2023 after a 2-year delay caused by COVID-19. We don't know much about the film except that John Wick is at war with and possibly presumed dead by the High Table, and Stahelski has gone on record to say that there's a possibility that Chapter 4 will not be a happy ending for its central character.
I'm guessing it's an hour and a half of shooting people.
There'll be some of that.
And stabbing.
Yeah.
Don't forget the stabbing.
And some creative new kills, too, I'm sure.
And one scene with a dog.
They got that out of the way in the first one.
Well, he's going to get a new dog. They're going to kill that dog
It would be
too.
fucked up if, like, every movie a different dog died. Can't believe they killed my fourth dog. Shit's going down now. You know, this next one, it's like not typically something I think I would be interested in, but I've really enjoyed the trailer. March 31st, 2023, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. The popular role-playing game gets a shiny reboot courtesy of directors John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein, who directed Game Night in 2015's Vacation. And an all-star cast that includes Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Hugh Grant, Bridgerton breakout star Reggie Jean Page, and more. I mean, they've been playing this like in front of like most of the movies we've gone and seen recently. Like, what do you guys think? I think it looks fun.
Yeah, it looks good.
It might be all right. He's got that tongue-in-cheek.
It might be one of those things where like I wait and see a review, and like if it gets decent reviews, I might go see it. And if it gets shit on, maybe not. But I don't know. It looks fun. It looks fun. Man, this next one I'm not interested in at all, but it is going to make all the fucking money.
Yeah.
April 7th, 2023, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I might take the kids to that.
The big screen adaptation of the iconic Nintendo character and his friends is being produced by Chris Meledandri of Illumination and the creator of Mario himself, Shigeru Miyamoto. Chris Pratt is voicing the famous Goomba-stomping plumber who arrives in the Mushroom Kingdom and meets Keegan-Michael Key's Toad. Anya Taylor-Joy is also on board as Princess Peach, and Jack Black and Seth Rogen will voice Bowser and Donkey Kong, respectively. And Charlie Day will play Luigi. I mean, it's been a long time since... I gotta be honest, I think it's been a long time since I watched, like, an animated feature film. I don't know, they don't appeal to me as much these days. I don't know why.
I don't know. They haven't had a strong one in a while.
Although there is going to be one on this list that I do want to see. Next, a horror movie that I care nothing about. April 21st, 2023, Evil Dead Rise. Originally slated to be an HBO Max release in the fall of 2022, the fifth film in the Evil Dead franchise is now headed to theaters in the spring of 2023. It remains unclear if this movie will connect to the originals or the 2013 remake, or if it will be its own thing entirely. But it will focus on two sisters whose reunion is interrupted by what else? The discovery of a mysterious book that summons demons. I know back in the day you watched one of these movies, like
I've watched more than one.
Yeah, I've seen these movies.
Do you actually like them? Like I know they're like Sam Raimi,
really
like
loving
goofiness.
They're just campy, you know. They're like silly and campy.
Well, I saw the first and second one. I think maybe it's the third one that's the most.
Oh, that's the most campy, I think.
I don't know.
The first one's like a real horror movie. The second one is I'm not sure. I remember the third one. I think is where they go back in time.
I think so. I don't think I saw that one.
Okay.
And then I know they even had like the Evil Dead like series.
Yeah, I watched that.
I watched.
That was fun.
I watched a few of those. They were.
Yeah.
It was good. I didn't get. I don't know. I didn't watch too many, but
I saw the first two seasons. The third season, I think they had it on like a different network. But I heard good things about the third season too.
It's definitely a franchise that has its fans. I just I can never care about about it. This one is one we're all on board for. May 5th, 2023, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Writer-director James Gunn follows his giddily irreverent 2021 effort, The Suicide Squad, with the latest Guardians, which is sure to have Chris Pratt, an awesome mix... see what we did there. Music and actors. Okay. And we're just getting plenty of comedic hijinks. We also know that Will Poulter is set to play Adam Warlock, who was teased at the end of Volume 2. That's, I've read like some like Marvel Cosmic comics that had Adam Warlock in it, but I never really understood like what his gimmick is, like what makes him like special or whatever.
He's supposed to be like the perfect being or something, right? That's what they said in the first movie, Guardians, second movie.
What's his powers? Just like kind of Supermanish, like really strong and shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's so special about him either, to be honest.
Did you play or watch any of the Guardians of the Galaxy video game that came out?
No.
That character's in it.
Okay.
And like, I like that game, but even still, I was like, not necessarily really understand that character.
Yeah, I don't understand what the selling point of his character is.
That game's actually a lot of fun. Anybody who hasn't played it.
I heard that the Avengers one was not very good.
That one's not supposed to be very good. I probably won't go to the theaters for this one. I might eventually watch it on streaming. May 19th, 2023, Fast X or Fast 10, however you want to say it. This is the only part one of the 10th installment of the most speedy and angry franchise out there. Part 2, rumored to be the last in the series, will drop in 2024. And while the plot is hush-hush at the moment, we know that Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, and the rest of the family will be back to do their thing.
There's like a lot of drama on set with these people. I don't know how that movie's going to turn out, what's going on, but I thought the director like walked off the set and didn't even want to be a part of the movie anymore.
It does seem like they traded directors or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then, like, I remember, like, The Rock and Vin Diesel couldn't get along, so I don't think The Rock's going to be in that. I'm sure he'll be in Hobbs and Shaw
Yeah.
Part 2. I mean, they say this is, the second one will be the end of the franchise. They will always make these movies in some form or the
Yeah.
other, like Hobbs and Haw, and like I guarantee you they'll have spin-off after spin-off, and eventually they'll go back to the Fast and Furious thing too.
Like old tell.
Yet another Disney live-action remake I don't care about. May 26, 2023, The Little Mermaid. This live-action remake of Disney's fish-out-of-water favorite has some inspired casting. In particular, Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, Awkwafina as Scuttle, and Javier Bardem as King Triton. And new tunes co-written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, while pop star Hailey Bailey will don some fins to play Ariel. I mean, I haven't watched most of these live action remakes, but from what I hear, like most of them are like so close to the source material that they're just kind of boring.
I haven't watched any of them either.
I wouldn't mind watching more fairy tale stuff if they actually like did their own thing, or maybe were truer to like the fucked up fairy tales that all the Disney things are based on. But like just to see like the same like animated movie now in live action, almost beat for beat. I mean, it sounds like they are putting some different songs in or whatever, but I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. Okay, so this is the animated film I will actually go see. June 2nd, 2023, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The Oscar-winning animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a big hit with critics and audiences, and Across the Spider-Verse was one of the most anticipated of 2022 until it got moved to 2023. Shameik Moore will voice Miles Morales again, with Haley Steinfeld's Gwen Stacy and Oscar Isaac's Miguel O'Hara, a.k.a. Spider-Man 2099, joining him. We also know that Issa Rae is set to voice Jessica Drew, a.k.a. Spider-Woman, and it's likely that Jake Johnson's Peter Parker will be back as well. Did you guys both see Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I saw some of it. I don't remember the whole movie though.
You too?
Didn't we go?
I saw it in theaters back home, so I don't think we would have been.
I must be thinking of a different one.
This is the animated one with Miles Morales.
Okay.
It's really good. I'm thinking you had to have seen it.
Yeah, I think you did see it.
I think you
told me
must have.
about it.
Probably.
It's really good, anyways. A lot of people listed as their favorite Spider-Man movie. It would be up there for me. I think maybe Spider-Man Homecoming would be ahead of it for me. But oh man, I don't think we hate ourselves enough to go see this one. June 9th, 2023, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. How do they keep making these?
Well, this one's not a Michael Bay movie, so
That's
I don't
true.
know what to expect.
You know what though? That Bumblebee movie that came out a couple years ago, it wasn't directed by Michael Bay either. So I was like, you know what? I'll give this one a shot, and I watched it, and it's still not good. I don't know. Maybe the Transformers just as a franchise isn't my thing. But apparently this time the Transformers franchise takes another step back in time after the 1980 set Bumblebee, taking viewers back to the mid-90s as a pair of archaeologists stumble into a three-way conflict between different factions of Transformers. The film is loosely based on the Beast Wars storyline and directed by Stephen Caple Jr., Creed 2. With Peter Cullen reprising his role as the voice of Optimus Prime, and people like Ron Perlman, Anthony Ramos, and Dominique Fishback joining the cast. I mean,
So it takes place in the 90s?
yeah. So if you're nostalgic for the 90s, which I am sometimes, but I still don't care about it.
I'm really not.
I mean, it works out because, they survived the 90s and come back
They
later.
can break out all their Nickelback songs.
I'm trying to think what Nickelback came
No,
on.
that was like
That was-
2000s.
I want to say, Nickelback was more
maybe-
really late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
The next, this one could go either way, but we're definitely reviewing it. June 23rd, 2023, The Flash. Well, that's if it comes out. That's assuming it comes out. In case you hadn't heard, multiverses are going to be all the rage in 2022.
Ugh.
And Maybe they meant 2023. And this movie is looking to be DC's contribution to the trend. Like a lot of films on the list, we don't yet know anything about the story, but the casting of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne is either a super meta stunt or a big hint as to what we'll see. There are rumors that the plot will follow the Flashpoint storyline from the comics, in which case, yes, expect some crossover shenanigans. Man, I really don't know what to expect from that movie, but I'm curious.
I don't know how they got Ezra Miller to like not do stuff right now. Like he must be like just going nuts and not committing crimes.
Next, this one's big on my list.
Give him a year's worth of fucking opium or something.
Yeah. He's on a morphine drip.
We'll see you after the premiere.
Yeah, you got to keep him calm. This one I'm excited about. This one we'll definitely have to review. June 30th, 2023, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. For the first time ever, a person not named Steven Spielberg is helming an Indiana Jones film. James Mangold walked the line, directs this long-awaited follow-up to 2008's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which boasts turns by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Mads Mikkelsen, Shawnette Renee Wilson, Antonio Banderas, and of course, Harrison Ford. Now, this one you got to be excited for, right?
I'll try it.
What's a dial? Like I always think of sundial, like the little pointy thing that like.
Yeah, that's what I think of, or like basically anything that like turns like a dial, like
Dial of Destiny.
Well, like don't ask me what it'll actually look like, but isn't that what you think of as like even like a knob on a stove or whatever,
Yeah.
or like a timer, like a dial? Yeah, that's the only thing I think of. Maybe it's like a time travel thing, like, oh, we're going to dial back to this so we can actually shoot Nazis.
Jesus.
These movies, I've watched most of this franchise, but I'm never excited enough to actually go watch them in the theater, which maybe I should because they're probably, meant for the big screen. But July 14th, 2023, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. This was the slot originally reserved for Mission Impossible 8, but with COVID being what it is, we're now getting MI7 in 2023 and MI8 in 2024. In any case, when the movie hits theaters, Tom Cruise will have played Ethan Hunt for a whopping 27 years. Where does the time go? This installment brings back familiar franchise faces like Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Rebecca Ferguson, Henry Czerny, and Vanessa Kirby, with Esai Morales playing the primary villain. You know what's weird? I think I've seen all these movies but the original one. I remember the second one is the drizzling shits, but after that, they're decent.
I've never seen a single Mission Impossible movie.
I mean,
I know I've seen some, but it's really not my genre.
yeah, I mean, they are just action movies.
Yeah.
Like, you're not looking at any, like, big, like, memorable, like, plot. It's just, like, yeah, if you're looking for... But they're all solid action movies. And, Tom Cruise, he does, like, he's always doing his own stunts and stuff. So there's some impressive stunt work in these movies, but...
They do get better shots when the person's doing their own stunts.
Yeah, I think... I mean, like I said, I never saw the first one. Definitely skipped the second one, but the third one on, if you're just looking like, oh, I got a couple hours to come looking for something with action in it, yeah, these are totally watchable.
Man, how old is Tom Cruise?
He's got to be like in his 50s.
Right? But I mean, like, he's only got a couple more years to make movies like this. He can't keep running around.
I don't know, man. He keeps drinking that
60.
Oh, 60. Yeah, he's really drinking that baby blood.
That's what I was thinking. He's got that. What's that stuff called? The stem cells.
Oh,
He's got them all over his body.
I'm sure he does, man. This next one I'm torn on because I love Christopher Nolan as a director, but biopics are my least favorite genre of movies, probably. But July 21st, 2023, Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's buzzed about biopic on physicist and father of the atomic bomb, J. Robert Oppenheimer, stars Cillian Murphy in the titular role, as well as Emily Blunt and Matt Damon. Like virtually all of Nolan's films, the IMAX shot pick should be taken in on the biggest screen possible. What do you think? Do you think you're going to watch this one in theaters?
No.
I doubt it.
I'm kind of thinking the same thing, which is, I don't know. Like I probably will watch it eventually, like just because like I'm such a Nolan fan. But man, do you guys like any biopics? They just, as a genre, it's one of my least favorite things ever.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some that I've liked. Nothing's popping into my head at the moment.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, another Marvel entry. We'll definitely be doing this one. July 28th, 2023, The Marvels. The MCU ain't getting any smaller, as Marvel plans to release 5 films in 2023 alone, including the sequel to Captain Marvel, which has Nia DaCosta, who directed 2021's Candyman, at the helm, and Brie Larson returning as Carol Danvers. The film will also be the big screen debut of Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan, a.k.a. Miss Marvel, after her eponymous Disney Plus series debut in 2022.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Well, I mean, Miss Marvel, if for anyone who didn't watch our review of Miss Marvel, we did not enjoy that show. But I think in the hands of better writers, and hopefully this has better writers, I like the character of Kamala Khan. So I'm hopeful that somebody can do something better with her than what was in Miss Marvel, the TV show.
Yeah, I mean, the visuals are nice, so hopefully they'll keep that going. Something to look at least.
This next one, the article mentions it might not even end up coming out this year, but this sounds boring as fuck too. Another biopic. This time by Martin Scorsese. So this big-time director is directing biopics. The legacy of the 32nd president of the United States gets the Martin Scorsese treatment with Leonardo DiCaprio. Who else? Set to star as the leader who navigated the Great Depression and World War II. This was announced way back in 2017, and we haven't heard a whole lot about it since. So take this release date with a grain of salt.
Nah, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It also seems like a movie like that would be Oscar bait, so I don't see it coming out in the summertime. If it does come out, I bet you they bump it to the fall. AJ, here you go. Opening July 21st, 2023, Barbie.
Yay!
After her stellar...
This is an anticipated movie?
Yeah, why?
I mean, it's got Margot Robbie. She's a big star. After her stellar adaptation of Little Women, director Greta Gerwig is back with her high-concept original co-written with Noah Baumbach, which chronicles the most famous doll ever. Margot Robbie stars as she's banished from Barbie Land and introduced to our world.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
But it also has, God, I'm blanking on his name, as Ken, like the guy from Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, Ron. What's his name? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was in The Notebook, too.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Well, the women like the hot goss. Okay, this one is anybody's guess. We've talked about it the last few weeks, though. August 18th, 2023, Blue Beetle. Originally conceived as a film specifically for the HBO Max streaming platform, Blue Beetle eventually found its way to being a theatrical release when Warner Brothers changed their minds about the film. The DC superhero flick will be helmed by Angel Manuel Soda, director of Charm City Kings, never heard of that, and stars Zolo Maridueña, who has recently made a name for himself on the Karate Kid-inspired hit Netflix series Cobra Kai. I think this is going to be the Black Adam of 2023, where we watch it and we're just like, yep, that was a movie.
Yeah, they already make this movie? Because I think all the movies they've already made, I'm not too excited about.
I think this one's pretty much in the can.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what James Gunn does.
Well, AJ, you're a horror fan. Are you interested in September 8th, 2023's The Nun 2?
I'll watch it. The first one got bad reviews from people, but I thought it was creepy enough.
Hey, whatever happened? I remember on How Did This Get Made, Jason Mantzoukas said he was going to make a movie called Nundercover. I don't think it's ever happened. The Nun 2 Nundercover. I would watch. The Conjuring universe continues to expand as we get a sequel to 2018's horror film The Nun, which starred Taissa Farmiga as a young nun who comes face to face with the demon Valak at her covenant. The second film takes place 4 years later, as Farmiga's sister Irene encounters Valak again after a priest is murdered. Bonnie Aarons, who portrayed Valak, is the only star currently attached to the film, so we have no word yet on whether or not Taissa Farmiga will also return to reprise her role. September 22nd, 2023, Although this one says starring TBD, so I don't know. I don't know how likely this is. And it's also untitled, A Quiet Place spinoff. We don't know much yet about this film besides its scheduled release date and the fact that Michael Sarnowski, who made his feature directorial debut with the acclaimed Nicolas Cage film Pig, will be behind the camera. We also know the story will be based on an idea from John Krasinski, who will serve as producer on the film. I watched the first Quiet Place. Did you guys ever watch either that one or the second one?
No.
I watched the first one. I thought it was pretty good.
I've heard that the second one is actually pretty good, but I have not seen it, so I don't not too excited about this film. Oh God, here comes the Morbius of 2023. October 6, 2023, Kraven the Hunter. Originally set to appear sometime in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man franchise before it was discontinued by Sony, the classic Spidey villain finally makes the jump to the big screen. The film will be directed by J.C. Chandor, director of All Is Lost and Triple Frontier, with Aaron Taylor Johnson, who portrayed Pietro Maximoff, Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron, set to play the character. I mean, it's the other thing. It's just this thing again where they take a villain, and because the villain's a star, they got to change him from a villain to an anti-hero. And like in the comics, like he's like this guy that's like obsessed with like hunting like
Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, and endangered like species and stuff. You know, a guy that most people would hate. Mm-hmm. And like they're gonna have to make a good guy out of him, being like, oh, he's hunting the bad guys. You know, it's just like it's almost certainly gonna be bad.
Is it gonna be a Sony movie?
That's the problem. Yeah.
Oh,
It's another Sony movie.
Oh,
Pass.
they always take the leftovers that Marvel lets them have.
Is someone who just had to suffer through Morbius on Netflix? Yeah, this is probably going to be a pass. I can't imagine it being good. Next, apparently they're doing a remake of The Exorcist, October 13th, 2023. So getting a Halloween movie in there. After capping off his trio of Halloween films, director David Gordon Green jumps right into another beloved horror franchise. As with his tackling of the Michael Myers story, The Exorcist is a follow-up to the original and the 1973 original only, and will reportedly unfold as the first of a trilogy, with Ellen Burstyn set to reprise her starring turn. I know, like, The Exorcist, and I think even The Exorcist 2 are considered, like, classic horror movies, but just not being a horror fan, I've never watched those. Have you guys?
So I've seen The Exorcist. It was okay. It was good, you know, like, for the time period it's made in. I'd like to see it remade. I'd like to see what they do with it in the modern era. Yeah.
That's the one with the chick that pukes up all the green shit.
Yeah,
right?
the pea soup or whatever that was.
Yeah. This one I'm actually looking forward to. We reviewed part 1 on the show. November 3rd, 2023, Dune Part 2. The first installment's day-and-date release on HBO Max may have put the sequel into question, but fear not. Dune Part 2 is officially a go, with director Denis Villeneuve claiming the film will cover the remainder of Frank Herbert's 1965 opus and open exclusively in theaters. Now, I know, Lester, you and me like part 1 quite a bit, but AJ, I remember you feeling maybe a little bored by it.
Yeah, I was a little bored by it. I was. Maybe it'll pick up. I just felt like the storyline just didn't really evolve much in that movie, but I don't know.
I feel like they did have to break it in a weird spot.
Yeah.
Like the ending just kind of happens, and it's not like an exciting cliffhanger, really.
Yeah, it felt like we just touched the tip of what's going on so far. So maybe there'll be a lot more interesting stuff coming out in this movie.
You know, before that movie came out, though, I watched the Dune that came out in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And, that movie, they tried to put, everything into one movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that movie definitely has the other thing where it just feels like 10 pounds of content in a 5-pound bag. Things just feel, rushed. Mm-hmm. And so I think it is better that they're doing it this way than that way.
Yeah.
But also, I just like Denis Villeneuve, I think, as a director. He shoots things well. It's prequel time. I definitely don't care about this one. November 17th, 2023, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Man, they're still making that?
You know what's weird is so they made like 4 movies, and like I don't know why, but I watched like the first 3 like just streaming at home. I never watched the last one for some reason,
Yeah.
and I don't think it reviewed particularly well, so I don't
Yeah,
really
I don't
care.
think so either.
But those movies made a lot of money, I think, so it doesn't surprise me they're going back.
Is Jennifer Lawrence going to be in this? She's like 35 now.
It does not have her name. No.
Okay.
Franchise vet Francis Lawrence, that's the director, returns to the direct this Hunger Games prequel based on the novel of the same name by Suzanne Collins. The story primarily follows a young Coriolanus Snow, originally played by Donald Sutherland, and his involvement in the Hunger Games as a game-changing mentor years before the events of the original series. So anyone who loves that franchise, there you go. Oh, man. Another origin story I don't care about. December 15th, 2023, Wonka.
Ugh.
Another one. Timothy Chalamet steps into the offbeat shoes of a young Willy Wonka in this origin story, which captures the budding chocolatier. Is that a real fucking word?
Yeah.
Chocolatier, as he crosses paths with the Oompa Loompas. Olivia Colman, Sally Hawkins, Keegan-Michael Key, and Rowan Atkinson round out the grade A cast, while Paul King, who enjoyed massive critical success with the 2 Paddington films, takes the helm.
This is like Heart of Darkness with Willy Wonka, like hunting natives.
You know what's weird is, I don't remember it well, but one time I did watch the remake with Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
and there's like this scene where he like goes into like the jungles and he finds the Oompa Loompas there.
Oh, I don't remember.
And it's like, it's weird. It's like, I'm like, are these guys slaves? I don't really know. But I mean, it just seems like another one of those movies that's like, who asked for this?
Yeah.
Also, have you guys ever seen the Paddington films? I hear everybody like, oh, you should actually watch the Paddington films. They're so good. But I don't know.
I tried to get the kids to watch one and they weren't having it.
Yeah, I'd be bored as hell watching a Paddington movie. I heard I heard something tragic happens in the last one though, so I don't know. I guess that pulls at the heartstrings and people decide to like it for that reason.
It's like Paddington hung himself at the end.
That was a dark, scary movie. Yeah,
It was daring, though.
yeah.
Gotta give it
bold.
Another remake, December 20th, 2023, The Color Purple. The musical, which nabbed a Tony for its revival on The Great White Way in 2016, makes its way to the silver screen just in time to close out the year. Be on the lookout for R&B phenom Her, H.E.R., who makes her screen debut in the early 1900s set Southern epic. Did you guys ever watch like the movie The Color Purple from like the 80s or whatever?
I'm pretty sure I was forced to watch it in high school. I don't really remember anything.
I don't think I
Isn't
ever...
that the one where Oprah pisses for like 5 minutes?
I think...
I think I've seen it on TV. Just happened to be on TV one day.
This next one, I don't think will be coming out, and also I think this article is... I think I read a headline the other day that contradicts this, but I'll read it anyway. So it says December 20th, 2023, untitled Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel. We don't have a lot of confirmed details about the sequel, except that director Jason Reitman is returning. Now, I didn't read the article, but I'm pretty sure I saw a headline just like a couple days ago that said Jason Reitman is not returning. So, and it stars Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, and Finn Wolfhard, at least, are likely to return, possibly along with co-star Paul Rudd and the surviving original Ghostbusters. We also know that the film setting will indeed be New York and the firehouse from the original films, which was teased at the end of Afterlife. I mean, we reviewed the movie, the first one, like last year or whatever. And, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm up for a second one.
Yeah.
Oh, and then who knows about this one? But Merry Christmas, December 25th, 2023, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
James Wan returns to the director's chair for another go at the world of Atlantis and the DC superhero Aquaman, Jason Momoa, who will be joined by Amber Heard, Mera, Patrick Wilson, Ocean Master, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Black Manta. No other details about the film are available as of yet, except it's bad. It's almost certainly bad. What are you guys more excited for, Aquaman or Kraven the Hunter?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they're still releasing that. I guess they had already made the whole thing, so now they have to put it out there. But man, I heard so many bad things about that. And Lobo, I heard he was. They're interested in casting him as Lobo now.
I mean, that's a rumor. Who knows if that's true? I mean, I think he would make a good Lobo, but I mean,
But this release date is after Flash, right?
yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't make sense then.
See, that's the thing. Is like, my hope was that Flash would be the movie that like kind of
Resets it.
reset everything, but then like Blue Beetle and this come in after Flash, so I'm like, could Flash really do something that groundbreaking?
Yeah.
You know, I doubt it, but man, DC is such a mess right now.
Yeah.
James Gunn, we wish
I
you
mean,
the best.
they brought him in late, man. They laid the turd first, and then they're like,
They really did.
Hey, can you clean this up for me?
This next one, or actually these next couple say opening on TBD, so who knows, they might slip to 2024. But this one, The Nightingale. The best-selling novel unfolds on the big screen with Melanie Laurent directing the tale of two sisters played by real-life sibs Elle and Dakota Fanning, who resist the German occupation of France during World War II. So that sounds upbeat. Oh, let's hope this one comes out next year. Legally Blonde 3. We don't know what the story will entail, but we do know that a third entry in the beloved Reese Witherspoon comedy franchise Legally Blonde is set to come out sometime reportedly in 2023. The film has been in development since 2018 and was originally scheduled to open in 2020, but various delays, including the coronavirus, set it back. We know that Jennifer Coolidge is returning, and the film will feature the debut of director Jamie Silk. I mean, which third movie in a trilogy are you looking forward to more? Legally Blonde 3 or Magic Mike 3? I guess it'd have to be Legally Blonde. Okay, let me ask you guys this. So we just went through all these movies. Which of these movies are you looking forward to your most? What's your most anticipated of 2023? And which one is your least anticipated?
Yeah, right. Least anticipated.
That one's tough.
Most, I would say John Wick 4. That's really.
I'm
I've been
definitely-
waiting on that one.
I mean, yeah, I am excited to see John Wick 4, but I think, fingers crossed after the fourth one not being that good. But I mean, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, it's got to be my most.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross my fingers for that and Guardians. Those.
I forgot about Guardians. I am looking forward to Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians looks good too.
Man. There's actually on this list, like, I think there's number one, like a lot of movies that are in our wheelhouse that we'll review. A lot of them I'm looking forward to. A lot of the superhero ones I'm like, please be good, but I have my doubts.